Hello, beloved listeners, and welcome to Sneople at the Movies, film criticism by people who actually like film. Join us as we dive into movies we love, movies we respect, and movies we wish we could unsee. From the kids who know there's no sound in space, thank you very much, it's Sneople at the Movies. I'm Ezra.
I'm Maddie.
And I'm Helena.
Hey!
Hey!
Yay! Wow,
yeah, why is the summer like this?
Like, I don't know. It's been crazy.
It's just as this summer brought to you by Horse eBooks. Everything happens so much.
Literally.
Yes, well,
literally.
Yeah. It's kind of been the past 8 months for me. I mean, figuratively, I'm just constantly that meme of Matthew McConaughey from True Detective smoking the cigarette and being like, I'm losing my mind.
Yeah,
true.
So that's just kind of me, but like 10 times the cigarettes.
Yeah, just in a row.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, there's the meme I meant. With the multiple cigarettes. Another excellent visual joke for our auditory medium.
They'll know. Yeah. It's everything happened so much this year. A lot.
Mm-hmm. It really did.
Ben and I streamed last night. He was listening off all the podcasts, and he was like, "And Sneople at the Movies on is on a hiatus," without me saying anything. Just said it, and I was like, "You're not wrong."
You're like, we didn't. Hey, look, I resemble that remark.
But Dunk,
listen,
he got me.
Life, it's just it's a crazy thing.
Yeah. Also, we've never taken any kind of longer break in, like, the 6 years we've been podcasting, so you know what? We have an inconsistent release schedule this summer.
We do, but we have some episodes in the backlog.
We have one, and then you will have heard it already, the Mission Impossible episode, and then this one. And then, ideally we'll be consistently recording again someday. Soon, hopefully. Yeah. Let's sleep, shall we? Yeah. I saw Prince of Darkness in theaters, which slapped pretty hard. Finally saw the 1989 Pet Sematary, which was interesting. I did like it. That sounded like I hated it. I did like it. I rewatched Jurassic Park, mostly while getting my teeth cleaned and my cavities filled, which was really interesting. And then I came home and watched the last, half hour and then took, a 5-hour nap. So that was a fun day.
Yeah.
Rewatched Sunshine, rewatched Event Horizon, rewatched Mouth of Madness, and then rewatched the Supernatural pilot once again while getting cavities filled, which once again was a really interesting experience.
I feel like you've created some very weird associations with those pieces of media now.
I had 5 dentist appointments over a span of a month. So a lot of watching of things happened, and so a lot of that stuff's mixed up in my brain together, including Jurassic Park. I thought about restarting my Supernatural rewatch again, and then I just straight up didn't, so...
They have, you know this, but the listeners don't. Every time I've been going to the gym, they have one television turned to TNT, which, as many connoisseurs know, sometimes occasionally plays reruns of Supernatural. And they're still doing this, in fact, 15 years later after I started watching episodes of Supernatural for the first time on TNT. So I've just been kind of going to the community center every week to see what's playing. They're in season 3 now. Presumably by now we'll be in season 4. Because
I like that they're doing it in order. They're just going through the whole thing again.
Oh yeah, they definitely are. Because the last time I went in, it was Mystery Spot. Well, was it Mystery Spot or was it whichever one comes before? Either that one or the one where Dean Siren is a man. You know which one I mean.
I do.
So that whichever one comes before that one. That's in season 3.
Okay.
So that was fun for me. I was on the bike trying to not be like, hey guys, this is the episode where Dean Siren is a man.
So turn to the other people in the community
which obviously
center
would have
and be
meant
like, hey everybody.
Hey guys, if you didn't know, a little bit of trivia for you. This is the episode where Dean Siren is a man. Anyway,
back to our bikes.
Yep.
Wow.
Supernatural.
Yeah. Last night, Ben and I have been playing all of the Metal Gear games over the past almost 2 years, and we finally finished last night, which I feel like an era of my life is over. I'm including that in this list because, oh my god, we were doing that for so long, and it was crazy. And now I'm a Metal Gear guy. Yeah. Who could have imagined? But here I am. Also, I got a kitten, so that took up a large part of my life. We've had him for like almost a month, and I did that, I don't know if you guys see this TikTok where she puts hand sanitizer on her hands, and it's when the hand sanitizer finds the cut on your hand first. That's what happened to me earlier today, because I have cuts all over my hand, and I just forgot, and then I was like, my fucking hand!
No!
He's vicious. I love him.
He's very fucking cute.
He's real cute. Johnny is obsessed with him. We were hanging out and like had photos of him up on Johnny's phone to like show off, and I was like, "That's my cat on your phone that you're showing people." Yeah,
that's the Godfather right there.
Yeah, basically. His name's Mo, short for Mortimer. For you Inkart heads out there. He has 5 names, but the first one is Mortimer. Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Love it.
So it's a lot. I mean, yeah.
The kitten raising has been also, as stated, multiple dentist appointments in the span of like 3 weeks. Or whatever, 4 weeks. So, anyway.
Having a child is a big responsibility.
Also, having a child is it's like having a toddler. Both my parents were like, "This sounds like you have a toddler," and I was like, "I feel like it."
Yeah, you kind of like do though.
Yeah, but if it bit more,
which
is a big ask. Just imagine toddlers love to bite. Actually,
sharp teeth.
Yeah,
horrifying.
Yeah. Anyway,
just like
I'm very glad that I'm glad that human toddlers don't have needle teeth.
Me too.
That we know of. No, just like Sunny in Series of Unfortunate Events, right?
That is true.
Yeah,
let me rephrase that. I'm glad that most human toddlers don't have needle teeth.
I'm glad real human toddlers don't have needle teeth.
There we go.
That is true. I'm excluding fictional toddlers.
Sunny Baudelaire is real to me.
That's that's fair. I shouldn't say that about her.
That's my doctor. No, I don't know. That's not a real person. Am I sneezing?
Helena, what did you sneeze?
Go for it.
I saw some movies. Also catching my parents up on all the good television that I watched when I was not living with them. So I made them watch Shogun and the Perry Mason remake, which they both very much enjoyed. So that's something. But I also watched A Place in the Sun with Elizabeth Taylor and Montgomery Clift. Two very ugly people, for sure. Not beautiful people, ridiculously attractive people at all. That's just an observation. I rewatched The Globe's 12th Night with Mark Rylance and Stephen Fry. Oh, because I was going to go see Prince of Darkness with Maddie. I bought tickets, and then I couldn't do it because I was called last minute to fill in for a production of 12th Night that was going up that week. So I had to get off book for Sebastian right quick and rehearse a production in 3 days. So I couldn't go to Prince of Darkness for that reason. But I was also in 12th Night mode. So I watched that because 12th Night was on my brain. And I went to go see the new Superman movie, which was okay. I rewatched Out of Sight. We watched this very silly streaming only movie called Heads of State, where John Cena is the president and Idris Elba is the prime minister, and they have to work together to bring down a criminal syndicate or something. I don't know. The plot does not matter at all. It's just about vibes and John Cena and Idris Elba getting along and being buddies. So it's a very, very silly movie, but I actually didn't hate it. Unfortunately. I rewatched, or I made my parents rewatch Edge of Tomorrow with me. We watched And Then There Were None, the original movie from the 40s.
Oh, fun.
Original adaptation, which has changed massively, not massively, just changed pretty significantly from the original plot in ways that I was not crazy about. But it was a pretty fun adaptation. We watched Blood Simple. We watched the Naked Gun remake, which owns. It's very, very funny. Please watch it. I rewatched Sunshine. I rewatched the Nosferatu remake. I watched Event Horizon for the first time. I went to go see Weapons in a movie theater, which was very enjoyable. I rewatched Stop Making Sense, because you gotta at least once a year. I rewatched Alien Romulus because my dad wanted to. And I was like, okay. And, it was less terrible the second time around, but still really annoying to me in certain places. I watched Deep Cover, which is on the Criterion Channel, which you should watch if you have that. And it is going away at the end of August, so if you want to watch that before it goes away, I recommend it. I rewatched The Birdcage, just on a whim. Watched Suddenly Last Summer, again with Montgomery Clift and Elizabeth Taylor, two famously very ugly people. Watched From Here to Eternity, also with Montgomery Clift, because I don't know if you knew this, that he's like the most beautiful, most sexy, most talented actor ever. And I love him. He's really good in it. And everybody else is also very good in it. Donna Reed is also very good in it. It is a movie filled with very good performances. And obviously the famous, sexy beach kiss Burt Lancaster and Deborah Carr have. But Montgomery Clift for me is kind of like the soul of that movie. As he is for everything that he is in. I rewatched Summertime with Katharine Hepburn. We watched Gimme Shelter. We watched Saturday Night Fever, which was a miserable film, but enjoyable in some ways, somehow. And last night we watched Raising Arizona, which is the best movie ever made. I think, probably.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And, nice. I'm watching ER also, of course, as I mentioned, which is important information for you all.
Cool. Yes, I would agree.
Yeah, wow.
How much ER is there?
There's 15 seasons, but I shan't be watching every episode, because obviously, you have your season 1 cast, and obviously, these people have lives, so, by which I mean the actors, so, people start to kind of filter away, or as in the case of George Clooney, obviously become bigger movie stars, and so they're like, I would like to go off and do this and not film television, which is an awful schedule.
Yeah.
ER forever. So you start with this core cast and then you're like, this is my family. And then slowly but surely the family starts to move away and you're like, but this was my family. But my family. And then by the end of season 8 or 9, almost all of the family is gone or dead. And you're like,
And they kept
where
going?
are my people? It kept going. I mean, John Carter was still there, played by Noah Wyle. So, there's that. There's this thing. And, they did bring in people who were very interesting, after season 1, who were still on there by the end of season 9. So you're just like, okay, there's these sexy people who I guess I care about. I will watch it for them. But, there's only so long a show can be on the air, I feel, personally. Especially a show that is married to an hour-long episodic format where you're it's a hospital show. So what do you do every episode? You have multiple, you're in a hospital. You have fucking and sucking on the side, and then you have, some, essential cases every single episode. And there's only so many times that you can do that before you're like, what can we do? I don't know. We can maybe make this guy, lose his arm in a, medical chopper. Maybe that will be a thing that we'll do. And they do that to a guy at some point. I haven't gotten there yet. This is season, I don't know what season this is. It's only so much you can do that before things start to get a little ridiculous. But I have a system. I will make my way through as best I can, watching the best of the best. And, if things get too unappealing, I will stop. Hopefully. We'll see.
I think that's reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
That is so much less E and ER than I thought there was, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, actually, same.
I thought there was 30 seasons or something.
No, that's Grey's Anatomy you're thinking of. It has.
Well, I mean, that's also true, but I thought that there was more ER also.
You would be correct or thinking that.
And yet,
only 15 measly seasons. We're lucky now.
I mean, that's just a Supernatural
one. Yeah, I mean, true. And that's MASH too. Well, actually, no, MASH had 13.
That's more MASH than I thought there was.
But the episodes of MASH are a lot shorter.
That's also true. And, MASH, I was thinking of MASH while I was saying, there's only so long you can do these things without it. Because MASH, has a smaller format, a shorter format, and also, their character replacements happened a lot sooner and were also a lot more successful, I think, than ERs were. Because they do have, a pretty big replacement that happens around season 3 or season 4 for several of their characters. But most of the cast stays and the episodes are shorter, and so they managed to late MASH is still pretty damn good. It actually gets better as the show goes on, I think personally. But I digress. Many thoughts.
Wait, I mean, this show is mostly digressions. Let's be real here.
Well,
true.
That's what you listen to us for.
Mm-hmm.
It does come up.
A show I've never seen.
I feel like,
but I would like
at
to.
this point, I should go watch some episodes of MASH so we can talk about MASH on the show.
I know. 2/3 of us need to watch MASH.
Yeah.
MASH, when it's rough in the early seasons, is but MASH when it's good is yay, and MASH when it's really, really good is wow, this is the best show ever.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. Mine's really short.
MASH.
Besides the movies we watched for today, I watched K-pop Demon Hunters. Fun.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly I care about the blue tiger demon, obviously. I want 7 to 10 Pixar style shorts that's just the big blue cat and the magpie demon. Sue me. I watched the first half of Frieren. I played all of Dragon Age Veilguard, including staying up until 2 o'clock in the morning to finish Dragon Age Veilguard because one of my beloved roommates moved away and took the TV. And I was like, well, fuck. I don't know when I'm getting a replacement television, so I guess I have to stay up until 2 a.m. playing Veilguard.
Right.
Which was worth it. That was a game that I liked a lot better than I thought I was going to.
Good.
Mostly because my expectations were in the toilet, and it ended up being a B. So,
we love this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still have not finished it again, but I like it.
It's short enough that
I'm
gonna play it again because there's some things that I want to see the other side of, and it feels like an achievable replay. As opposed to some other games that I know I'm going to want to play multiple runs of that take 100 hours. I love you, Baldur's Gate. I'm gonna have to play on story mode if I want to play that game again. Because, Jesus fucking Christ. That game is really long. Okay. We have... Are we calling this one an unusual double feature?
I wouldn't say it's unusual, but yeah, I mean, it's pretty. I would say it was very clear to me, having seen Sunshine before and not having seen Event Horizon before. It was very, very clear to me why you chose Event Horizon to be paired with Sunshine. I was like, I see the similarities.
Absolutely. Yeah,
right
let's do a quick little intro on our two. This is not a remake Rumble, so it's not our two contenders.
No.
It's more like I'm choosing to think of That's a Fight, unusual double features, like a blind date.
Yeah.
So our two eligible, whatever the gender neutral version of Bachelor or Bachelorette is, our two Bachelorette, yeah, our two, that doesn't pluralize well, our two eligible comrades this afternoon.
Yeah.
Look, this has become, I'm just leading into the bit now.
If Sunshine were a person, it would be a communist. I believe this in my heart.
If Sunshine were a person, it would be one of those people, one of those deeply fascinating to me people who are like very dedicated communists and also very dedicated Christians, but in like a cool way. Like, not even necessarily in like a Latin American liberation theology, but just like, like Sunshine would be like, yeah, I don't know, like you're really cool, like, just you're really cool, like dedicated Christian communist comrades. I don't know. Anyway,
I can see that. Yeah.
This movie is very. So we have. I'm gonna get these like years wrong. One of these days, I'm gonna get it together to actually put this shit in the doc before I start running my mouth. It is not this day. So we have in chair number 1, 2007's Sunshine, directed by Danny Boyle. Fun fact, when you put in Sunshine Film, you do still get the Wikipedia article for Sunlight in the corner, which I think is really funny. Thank you, DuckDuckGo. This show not brought to you by DuckDuckGo, I just like it. And from 10 years earlier, in the other chair, we have 1997's sci-fi horror Event Horizon. So, yeah. Both films that I think all of us probably recommend. One of which is way more high budget than the other one.
And one of which is way more fucked up than the other.
Yeah, that's true. Be careful.
I think is fun. I think that I have my issues with it, but they're not serious. Like,
someone rated it 3 stars on Letterboxd.
One of these is like a genuinely good movie. The other one is a cult classic. For a reason.
But I mean, even Event Horizon has some really interesting performances and like really good performances, especially from Lawrence Fishburne. I think it's worth watching for him alone.
He's so
and
good.
Sexy Jason Isaacs. Who is sexy.
Yeah, if you want very young Jason
very
Isaacs
handsome Jason
content,
Isaacs.
Very handsome Jason Isaacs in really unflattering costumes, watch Event Horizon. It's bad. The vest looks really stupid.
Yeah, but he makes it work. He makes it like half work.
To be clear, he is making it work. I'm just going to do a really fast plot summary of both of these movies.
Alright.
Just in case anybody hasn't watched them, I guess. So, or your premise on Sunshine is a spaceship of specialized, experts who are on their way to fling a giant nuclear charge into the sun because the sun is going out. Don't think too hard about it. And then on the flip side, you have Event Horizon, which involves a also cool and futuristically imagined ship, which is supposed to be able to travel through wormholes. Only it turns out that sometimes you wormhole into the Clive Barker dimension instead, and nothing good comes out. Not a great place to be. So in both cases, chaos ensues, and so we decided, like, I was gonna say, I know, Helena, you were like, yeah, obviously I know what you were getting at. I'm like, yeah, this is like the horseshoe theory of space, which is sometimes the enormous impact of space is like so beautiful it makes you insane, and sometimes it's so horrifying it makes you insane. We achieve the sublime. I will simply not go to space. I'm gonna sidestep all of this shit by not going to space.
Have we talked about, this is a tad bit of a transgression, have we talked about the question of, like, what would be more horrifying and which would you rather do? Would you rather go on a deep space expedition or a deep sea expedition to, like, the bottom of the ocean?
Oh, I don't know. That is a...
it's a conundrum. I feel like, I don't know, I would rather go to space. Personally. But, I just don't think we don't know what's down there. Yeah, that's my onion on that. But
okay.
Something for you guys to ponder over while we record this.
Yeah, write in with your answers. I'm curious. I don't know. I'm trying to decide in terms of your, like, shitty ways to die. Is decompression worse than compression?
They're both pretty equally bad.
This is
either way
fast.
It is.
I feel like decompression is faster.
There's a mercy.
Yeah. I think it depends on how I did, like, just having watched those back-to-back documentaries on the Titan submersible, if you're far enough down there, you're not gonna know there's a problem. I think that's in both cases. It's like something goes wrong and you become physics instead of biology before you have a chance to know something's gone wrong.
Yeah.
I feel like I would still opt for going to space, though. Partly because the implications behind me going to space include, like, a level of much more advanced technology than we have now. 'Cause, like, nobody's gonna put my extremely average ass in space unless we, like, have made space a lot more accessible, in which case I assume we've made it at least marginally safer.
We're talking about
One
space versus
or maybe
sea.
we haven't.
So
I don't know.
A part of the sentence.
Oh, yes. Would you rather go on, like, a space exploration thing or a deep sea exploration?
Deep sea.
Hell yeah.
Easily. The idea of getting blown out of an airlock to just, especially if I'm in an airship and I just am floating in space for however long it is until my suit runs out of air or whatever. No fucking thank you. This is something I can't think about too long or I get, like, nervous.
Nope. You know what? Never mind. I forgot about that one. I'm changing my answer.
Whereas drowning is relatively fast.
If I'm gonna die...
Drowning is the least of what would happen to you, though. Like, drowning could happen to you in, like, 10 feet of water. I'm, like, deep sea, like, it's pressures that a human body cannot sustain the same way that they can't sustain the pressures of being in space.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
the thing. It's, like, equivocal, except
so we have to take out the equivocal, the equal parts, then.
Equal parts.
Either way, you have the compression-decompression issue in both places, so that doesn't matter. You were going to run into that issue either way. So what are the differences between the two? And there's the I am outside of my vessel part, one of which is drowning, basically. And the other one is either I'm in my suit, and I'm left floating forever, and there's many times you will be outside in your suit because you may be doing maintenance out there, and what if you get loose? Goodbye. Or I am abruptly outside of my suit, and I'm outside of the vessel, and I'm not in my suit, in which case I immediately, the immediately freeze to death I think is not bad, because I think that also happens pretty fast, but the idea of my body becoming ice is not very pleasant to me.
I mean, it happens pretty slowly to that guy in Sunshine, it seems like.
And the stuff that freezes is not very pleasant.
No.
No.
Sorry, I talked over you because I got passionate really quickly. I'm done now.
No, I also think that, all is forgiven. I think that for me also, there's, as much as I would like to believe that the truth is out there, Scully, I feel like we're much less likely to come across alien life that would kill us, whereas there are parts of the ocean that we haven't explored. We just do not know what's down there, and we wouldn't be able to see. And it's freaky to me. I don't know. It makes me uncomfortable.
That's fair. I find that exciting, even though I have a fish phobia, but the fish can't touch me.
Well,
I'm inside the submarine. Unless I'm outside the submarine. Once again, I'm going to be inside the whale then.
Hell yeah. I'm substantially more scared of deep water than I am of space, but I think I would still go with the water option. Just because I also have the drifting away from your ship thing really, like, oh man, I really hate it when that happens in movies.
It's awful. Yeah.
Now, to be fair, if we're at Star Trek level going into space, sign me up,
totally
absolutely, I'm going to space.
Yeah, because they'll just transport you out of that situation. Once they can dissolve me and, like, reconstitute me to solve the problem.
Now, you say that. Now, some pretty horrible things happen to people sometimes. Very, very rarely.
But they do happen.
I'm not saying that this is, like, de rigueur, but there are times when transporters don't work. Things happen. And then your goop, and then your goop, or you're turned inside out. Famously, they do that in Star Trek: The Motion Picture, I think. Actually,
I feel like that happens once again pretty fast, though.
I don't think I'm gonna be alive if I get reconstituted as goop.
Oh, they're alive when they're turned inside out.
Oh, really?
Not for long, presumably.
Well, no, not indeed. Yes.
I don't think your brain is functioning at that point.
In Galaxy Quest, where they're like, oh, the animal, they're trying to transport the animal, and they're like, oh, the animal turned inside out, and then it exploded. That's kind of what will happen, basically. I don't think that they show it for very long in Star Trek: The Motion Picture, because it's so gruesome.
Gross.
And they were like, guys, this is 1979. We can't be doing
We can't do this.
Motion picture, transporter malfunction.
I'll also say,
accident.
While you're looking this up, that if something goes wrong, and I'm in the ocean, it's way easier for someone to come get me than if I'm out near Neptune.
That is true.
If you're out near Neptune or whatever, and your comms go down, that's it, bro. You're done.
Yeah, it would take somebody, so even if you were able to let somebody know there was a problem, it would take someone so long to get to you that it's like, nah, you're on your own, Sen.
Now, admittedly, we do have recent cases of people going down in submarines and then they all fucking die, but if my submarine did not explode or whatever happened to those billionaires, I don't remember.
What did happen? Z, you watched the documentary.
I don't remember.
What happened was, capitalism happened to, unregulate. They dodged a bunch of safety regulation.
Right.
And did not use experimental materials, took really poor care of those experimental materials, and then, like, got squished like crushing a can, but worse. And also faster.
Yeah.
It just imploded.
Yeah. But but if I'm down there and my submarine is still, like, in shape and it's just like, well, we can't move, people will realize faster, like, oh, damn, they haven't come back up, let's go get them.
Yeah, like, they might be able to get to you before you asphyxiate.
Yeah.
On the other hand, carbon dioxide, getting, like, too much carbon dioxide does suck pretty bad. This is really morbid. Anyway.
Well, that's the plot of these movies, though, is they have horror aspects and they're both kind of morbid.
These movies do feature a lot of dying in space.
A lot. Almost everybody dies. Everybody dies in Sorry, spoilers, but everybody dies in Sunshine. Yeah. And almost everybody dies in Event Horizon.
I do think they do make a very... I watched them back to back, which was very fun, because with people who'd never seen them before, and so it was like, oh, okay, we watched Sunshine, and it was like, yeah, there are some things about mid-2000s filmmaking sensibilities that really, really hit, and I kind of missed them. That was really fun, and then I showed them Event Horizon, and everybody was like, I mean, that was fun, but damn, Ezra, really? And I'm like, yeah, I know. For someone who doesn't like eyeball-related horror, it's weird that I like that movie so much.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on.
In my defense, it's mostly the aftermath of eyeball horror, which freaks me out substantially less than the, like, active eyeball horror. Like, somebody being, like, eyeballs gone, I'm like, okay, I mean, you know, gross, but I just don't have to think that hard about it. Yeah, so we have, I mean, it's like we have ensemble casts, a thing that I like when sci-fi movie, I like when any kind of situation there is an ensemble cast, because everybody has their, like, job. I like a crew. I like it in heist movies. I like it in anything with ships. I like it in, yeah.
Yeah. I like The Thing has a similar vibe. Where it's, all these people have their own different roles. And they're all stuck together in an isolated place. The Thing would have been an also interesting grouping for this, even though it's not in space.
No,
so would Prometheus.
Similar vibes. I still haven't
seen Prometheus.
I like that film.
I've seen
horrifying unison
1 3/4 Aliens films.
I still love that continuing number. The Aliens is
the 3/4.
I still have to finish my Alien versus Predator versus Kramer watch list.
That's right. I forgot that's what you were calling it.
And did I credit that joke properly the last time I mentioned it? Because I feel like I couldn't remember where I got that from, and I inaccurately said on this podcast once that I was like, I think it's an Eddie Izzard bit. It's not. It's even nerdier than that, and I apologize if I've already explained to the listeners where that bit came from. It's a throwaway bit from an episode of the Dead Authors podcast.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay.
So I have to credit Matt Gorley, actually. I think it's on the Carl Sagan episode. Cut. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, random, very, very throwaway bit, but I thank you, Matt Gorley, for inspiring me to create this list. Anyway, I'm still not done because I haven't seen, Kramer versus Kramer, I think, is that the only one I have left? Actually, they keep coming out with new stuff. I guess there's the new Predators film, and then now Alien, I don't know if this should count, but now they got an Alien TV show, which I might watch because Timothy Olyphant is in it, and Timothy Olyphant.
I have heard such mixed stuff about that show.
So have I, which is my hesitation. But
go nuts, but
yeah, I mean, we'll see. Eventually we'll get to it. But anyway,
I don't know where we were going with that.
Prometheus is similar to. Oh yes, watch Prometheus sometime because it would fit in well with these 2 movies, I guess, is the point. But since 2/3 of us have not seen Prometheus, we shall leave that for a different episode, for sometime in the future.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
So we have okay, so I don't know, do you want to start by talking about Sunshine?
Sure.
A movie that has an absolutely hilarious cast, like in a good way. This cast is insane. You have also, it's written by, the other thing was making me laugh really hard. So it's directed by Danny Boyle, written by Alex Garland, who is the guy who he wrote 28 Days Later and 28 Years Later.
That would explain.
And also
Dread.
Oh, that's hysterical.
And also Annihilation, and also Ex Machina, and directed Ex Machina,
Wild.
And that movie Civil War that everybody hates. People generally see. I've only seen a couple of movies that he's directed. People seem to think, and I would agree with this, generally more of him as a writer than a director.
It'd be like that.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't have enough of a sample size to agree or disagree, but I've generally found that to be true. But yeah, he worked with Danny Boyle a lot, and he wrote 28 Years Later as well, the most recent 28 Days Later sequel.
Oh,
okay. I very much need to see
really
that,
watch
but
that.
I haven't seen the second one yet.
Good film.
I don't
second one
remember.
Is not great, but it's fine.
Yeah, well.
So it has everyone's favorite Killian Murphy, which I was like, it's time for some Killian Murphy, which was a non-zero amount of the reason I wanted to rewatch this movie. Chris Evans, in one of his,
McQueen.
He gets to be kind of a dirtbag, which I think is always really satisfying. He plays a really good dirtbag. I also feel like this role prefigures him in Snowpiercer in a weird way.
Yeah, agreed. I was thinking about Snowpiercer a lot.
The vibes are there. He is less unwashed.
Yeah, true. He specifically becomes more washed, like, after his first couple scenes.
This is true. That is a good point.
Also playing a redeemable asshole versus the, irredeemable asshole, which is fun for him to do that, because you're like, this guy sucks, and the way he says things sucks, but he's, like, he's not wrong a large part of the time.
No,
yeah. He's not nice, but he is, like, doing the right thing to try to keep people from going insane because of their proximity to the sun.
Yeah. And also make sure they, like, get there.
Yeah. He is definitely he's the pragmatic one, which I also think is a fun thing for him to get to do. I also just, like, forgot what he looks like when he looks like a normal human being instead of whatever the fuck they had to do to him in the Marvel movies. I was like, oh, yeah, Chris Evans, human man. Like, obviously, he's, like, I mean, he does absolutely nothing for me. Classically handsome, but, like, in a way that looks plausible for a human being to achieve without, like, I don't know what see above I don't know what the fuck they were doing, and also I don't want to speculate too much, lest the Disney snipers come for me.
Yeah.
They're trying to make him unattractive to me specifically. This has been, like, the strongest, the movie The Materialist, which just came out this year with him and Dakota Johnson and Pedro Pascal.
Did you see that?
No, I haven't seen it because I heard atrocious things about it.
Again, really mixed reviews.
Yes, and yes, the buzz from people whose opinions I trust the most was like, what is going on? Mostly.
That makes me feel really validated based on my reactions to the trailer, which were me rolling my eyes so hard I thought I was going to fall out of my chair.
Yeah, the plot was stupid, but I was like, I like the people in this movie enough that I want to give it a shot.
Well, the issue is that Chris Evans, as he is in that movie, is really attractive to me, as opposed to, like, Chris Evans, Captain America, which is, like, friend-shaped. Steve Rogers is friend-shaped, but, like, this version of Chris Evans is more attractive to me, and then I was like, I really kind of want to see it just for that, but then this movie sounds crazy. So, alas. I don't know. Maybe I'll give everything up for hot waiter Chris Evans. Maybe not.
I'm sure this is... let me know.
Yeah, report back. I'm sure this is not
I'll take the bullet
plot of that movie, but I was watching the whole trailer, like, rolling my eyes, and I watched the whole thing, and I went, well, do all three of them get together at the end? Because that would be
nice. Sure would be nice.
I was like, this would be much more interesting if this ended up being, like, that really seemed like it could be solved by polyamory, and sometimes I have a hard time with, like... Sometimes I have a hard time with love triangle stories. I understand that not everyone is poly, and in fact, perhaps the majority of people are monogamous. I can accept that without really understanding it. But sometimes I'm like, these are fictional characters. You can write them however you want. It seems like just date both of them. Like...
they could date each other. That would be
they could date each other. They all have two hands.
Very handsome.
If Chris Evans and Pedro Pascal were like, "Can I date you?" I would be like, "Yes."
Yeah, why is that?
I would make it work. I would. Yes. I'm like, well, this is going to be difficult, but I'll make it work. You know what? For this, I'll make it work.
Yeah,
it is so funny.
I'll make some sacrifices if I have to.
I would be buds with Chris Evans, but I just don't find him attractive. The closest I've ever come to finding him attractive is sort of a little bit in Knives Out, and mostly because I want to steal his sweaters.
Yeah.
He just I don't know. He just doesn't do it for me.
Listen, styling and costuming does a lot. Again, I see my reaction to him in this movie, which is just a little bit different than how he was styled for years as Captain America. It's just a little bit.
This is true. He's also less blonde, which I think looks better on him
because they shaved his head.
I agree.
Yeah. Well, they did also shave his head. Speaking of people who are in this movie who could get it, hello. Sorry, Michelle Yeoh is so hot in this movie.
She's so beautiful.
For real.
She's just so gorgeous. Great. It's kind of infuriating. And obviously Killian Murphy and his absurd eyeballs are in here too.
And Hiroyuki Sanada as well, which was very exciting for my family and I as we had just finished watching Shogun.
Yes.
That's where I knew him from. Okay.
Yeah. He is in this. He's very hot in this as well.
He is so good.
It's a very hot cast. Sorry,
it's a lot of hot people. Literally and
the
figuratively.
Cast of Sunshine, so I can remember his name. And this picture that came up for Killian Murphy is really bad, and I'm just laughing at it. And I can't seem to copy it. It looks like it's from the Oppenheimer premiere or something, but the way that they caught him, this photographer caught him, is like his eyes are huge, and it looks like he's a deer in the headlights.
Can we see it?
Is Killian Murphy not beating the secretly a Bush baby allegations?
Yeah, let me copy the picture.
His big old sad eyes.
Oh,
I will say. Oh God! Oh, this photo is so bad.
It's not a good photo of him. It's a very unflattering.
Listeners,
he looks like he's wearing a mask of his own face.
The Tumblr post
it does.
Of the guy who was like the director of the NSA, and it's the this is the guy who sees everything you post on the internet, and the other caption is just, he sure looks like he's seen everything I've ever seen on the internet, and then he looks like he hasn't slept in 3 years. That's the mood here. This really looks like a level of Killian Murphy who's like, I've been on so many planes in the last 3 weeks I don't know who I am anymore.
Get me home. It looks like the Oppenheimer meme from the end of the movie, but worse.
Worse, yeah.
Yeah.
You just see
he doesn't look sad or guilty. He just looks like the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme is running through his head full speed, nothing else.
Yo, for real?
Yeah.
Anyway, truly, that's a damn that's crazy face.
Oh man,
he doesn't look like this in the movie. He looks like peak 2007, just wet puppy dog, sad boy.
I don't understand why his hair sort of looks like it's wet all the time in this movie.
He's sweating a lot.
He's always taking.
He has a lot going on.
Yeah. I was gonna say he does have a lot going on, but it's that particular era of. I mean, it's a particular era of Killian Murphy. He is a very striking looking human being.
Yeah.
And this movie really gets a lot of mileage out of people like us seeing people look at stuff.
Yeah.
Which is that's a stupid sentence.
No, I get what you I watched part of this movie. It has a lot of
reaction shots.
Yeah. This movie obviously has dialogue and shit, but it has I think slightly less than you'd think, because I watched a lot of this after Amanda came home, and she was sitting at her computer in the living room doing her thing, and I was hyper aware of the fact that I was watching a movie she probably didn't want to watch. So I was paying attention to the dialogue to be how does this feel to someone who's not watching the movie? And I was there's actually not a ton, and it's not very descriptive. If I was not watching this movie, I'd have no clue what the fuck was going on, because so much of it is very visual.
Yeah,
including a lot of those reaction shots, which are really cool.
I think it does really aesthetically pleasing things with reflections also. and like all of this, it really leans into the, you know, like eyes being the window to the soul kind of shit. And the idea of like, I mean, also like, there are so many things in this movie where I'm like, okay, yes, you're letting these people get sunburned because they keep overriding the security protocols and being like, I'm going to fuck the sun. But I'm like, none of you would be able to see anymore. Like, you would be just like scorching the absolute fuck out of your corneas, my guy. But it's just really, I love all of the shots where you see you get a sense of the just overwhelming enormity of the sun, but it's confined to like the reflection in a human eye. I think it's just like, I'm a huge sucker for that kind of shit. This movie just goes absolutely apeshit on like light and shadow stuff, and like light that is so strong that it's like a physical sensation. I think this movie does a really good job of making you imagine what that would be like, with the way that like the like a little bit of shaky cam and the kind of rushing noise that you get on the soundtrack when people are in the I'm going to irradiate myself box. I don't know. I just, every single time somebody would go into the observation thing and do the like, computer, you know, override the safety protocols, I need to engage in the like least medically advisable tanning session in human history.
Yeah. What is going on there, huh?
But it's so, I think it does a good job of really going for like, you have this very sort of like relatively high tech, but not everything looks like the Apple Store quite yet. Like, this came out in 2007. Looking at this versus Star Trek 2009 is fucking hysterical in terms of design sensibilities, because like one of them is really like, Star Trek 2009 is weirdly like if retrofuturism had a baby with the Apple Store. I'm not sure if that's actually a positive thing anymore. I don't like that movie nearly as much as I used to. This is all sort of like 15 minutes into the future type technological and imagining. It has a lot more in common with the aesthetics of like The Martian than your sort of more like farther, like hypothetically farther in the future sci-fi stuff. But it is, you know, they're in space. They have, like, there are plants, but it's a contained hydroponic, like, super high-tech hydroponic garden and stuff. I think I really like the juxtapositions between the technology elements and the, like, really, really primal stuff. Like, we need the sun. Everything alive on the planet needs the sun. Of course, it's like one of the first things that humans like invented the concept of worshipping things is the sun. And like, you know, billions of people in the history of humans have worshipped the sun in various forms.
Right.
I don't know. Like, I just...
We think that we're beyond that because we've come so far technologically, but when we're put out in like in the far reaches of space, and we're so close to it, and we're having to contend with it as an actual like physical thing, it's like kind of breaks your brain, although breaks your brain a little bit in the case of some of these characters, but like
to a greater or lesser extent.
Primal,
it literally burns away the trappings of science and, like, the trappings of humankind's control over physics. It's just, I just, like, this movie was kind of a bomb. This movie cost $40 million. This movie cost $40 million to make and didn't even make its money back at the box office. Like, it was well reviewed, but a bunch of people were like, that's not how science works. And I'm like, I know. I think it does. I think this movie, I think Sunshine, to me, does a great job of explaining exactly as much of its bullshit as it needs to.
Yeah.
It tells you the premise. The premise is very simple.
Who cares?
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, we have to restart this." Fuck, that's who cares.
Cool.
The point is, we have made this thing like nuclear. The nuclear, like, you know, the entire collective efforts of the human race go toward making this nuclear device, which is made in the image of the sun, like. The sun is the text of the whole nuclear fusion thing. And we were like, okay, well, we have to make that in miniature, like in potentiality, and fling it into the big one. Of course, everybody wants to become one with the sun. Like, I don't know. I think this movie has, like, it's like, fine, that's not how science works. I genuinely don't give a shit. It's like, the internal logic of it is true in a poetic way.
Yeah.
That I think is fun. I think it's a very poetic movie, which is a thing that I really enjoy seeing done in science fiction. I think actually both of these movies are they both operate on, like, poetry logic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that, which I only just realized. Sorry, Maddie, go ahead. Say your thing. I don't want to.
I was going to say, I would say Event Horizon is a little bit more heavy-handed and clumsy with it.
Yes, it absolutely is. Like, Event Horizon is just, like, a less well-executed movie in a lot of ways.
Yes, I was going to move to the compare and contrast feature of this.
Hell yeah.
In terms of their poetry, so go ahead, Helena.
Oh, I was just thinking that I was just sitting here only now realizing kind of the significance of the ship Icarus, and, like, the fact that Icarus in the original Greek myth, who is the whole thing, is that he flew too close to the sun and the sun melted the wax on his wings and he plunged to his death. And how it's kind of, like, translated by the Mark Strong character, sort of, like, literally flying too close to the sun. And just kind of turning into a literal Icarus, and it melts his mind.
I did not realize that was Mark Strong, dude. You were like, yeah, Mark Strong, and I was like,
oh,
what?
yeah.
Because we never really see him, which is
really
cool.
He's not in full.
I love that.
Not when he's crazy, yeah.
It's really cool. You mostly see him through that, like, it sort of looks like they smeared a bunch of Vaseline on the lens or something vibe.
Yeah. The turbo sun filter.
He, this is really awful, but I was watching this movie and I kept going, I thought Mark Strong was in this, because I forgot that you mostly see him, once he has, really gone round the bend. And two, the whole time I was like, it's like when you're toasting marshmallows over a campfire and you peel off successive layers of toasted marshmallow and put it back in the fire. Sorry, that was really gross, and I stand by it.
This movie also does something really quick that I like to call the Pazuzu effect, which I think is really horrifying. Pazuzu, I believe that's his name. Pazuzu Exorcist. Yes.
What, like the demon?
Yeah, so there's a thing that they do in The Exorcist, at least in the director's cut, that's really horrifying, where occasionally you'll see images of a creature superimposed really briefly on the screen, like in a flash, or they'll, like, cut really quickly to, like, a scary face when, like, Regan is in the hospital getting an MRI or whatever. It's really, really quick. So that's one of those things, like, it's like the Tyler Durden effect in Fight Club, where he'll, like, spoilers for Fight Club, where he'll, like, kind of show up for, like, 2 seconds before he's introduced, kind of, like, on screen. And if you're paying attention, it's like, what the fuck was that? It's a cinematic effect that they kind of, like, do this, and Danny Boyle does this in Sunshine, and I think it's really scary, effectively, affectionately positive, when they go onto the Icarus and, like, there's the flashes of, like, the crew's photograph just kind of, like, flashes onto the screen. It's like, it reminded me of a lot of his techniques, like digital techniques he did in 28 Days Later, where it's that really frenetic kind of like editing and superimposition and stuff. It was really terrifying. But I call it the Pazuzu effect only in the privacy of my own home, because Pazuzu is the name of the demon in The Exorcist, and that's what I think of every time.
The last time I heard a reference to Pazuzu was listening to a podcast called Antiques Freaks do an episode on the Labubus, and apparently somebody decided that they're possessed by a demon because it sounds like Pazuzu, and I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And then I kind of just had to realize that now I have to live in a world where I know all of that information. Wish I didn't.
The more you know.
But and then it's fun because Event Horizon does that. I mean, like, the clips are longer, but it does that same thing of intercutting... intercutting with this, like, disturbing image that sometimes I really don't like that kind of stuff, because I'm just like, I don't know, I don't love jump scares, but I think it works really well in both of these movies, because I feel like it mostly gets used to, like, unsettle you, and also I think it succeeds in giving the feeling that this is happening to the characters. And that, like, it's not necessarily about, like, oh, you can't trust what the movie is showing you. It's like, these characters cannot trust their own perception of reality. Which is cool. Because space drives you... Welcome to the Space Drives You Nuts.
Yeah. You get too far away from Earth, or too close to something, and everything goes fuckwise.
Yeah, it's like,
cool.
Perhaps we should not get too close to the big gravity thing.
Yeah, basically.
It's like... Too much gravity. Man. It's the hubris of man, Lewis!
Yeah. Yeah.
Someday I'm going to successfully find the Yogscast video that line is from.
Please do.
I've looked
changed our brains
multiple
forever.
times. I know. I'm like, you and I are going to be texting that to each other, like, through
Age
whatever
80.
fuck shit they put in your brain when we're, like, 85.
Yeah, exactly. But speaking of the, like, going too far, too close, or whatever, both those movies have that, and then it's like Event Horizon is going too far out, and Sunshine is going too far in, and Sunshine has a lot of the references to, like, the captain of the previous one, like, spent 7 years going ape shit and talking to God or whatever, God being, I guess, the sun or something, and then Sam Neill gets to the end of space in Event Horizon, and he's like, it's time for us to go to hell, because the ship went to literal ? Hell, and came back and was alive. Which I love, by the way. I love the house is alive horror, and so the extension of what if the ship was alive, which is even worse, because you're in the middle of nothing and nowhere, and you cannot escape the thing that you are inside of.
The thing that's supposed to keep you alive?
Yep,
yeah,
texted Ben immediately. Because he also loves the house is alive shit. The thing that's supposed to protect you and keep you safe is instead, like, the whale that has devoured you. Sorry. No, I won't apologize.
You should.
Why should you?
That was funny.
Thank you. Don't apologize. Reminds me... Sorry, yeah, I'll save my tangent for later. I guess my previous manager... This is a shout out to my previous manager at my last job. We shared an office, and his desk was right next to mine, and he had a lot of really humorous to me vocal habits, where one of which was that he would, sit at his desk while he was answering emails or ordering stuff for the store, and be like, like, just do little, like, little
ditties.
Little ditties whenever he clicked on something, and I thought it was really funny. And I would sit there, and I would be chuckling, and be like, sorry. And I'm like, don't apologize. I'm laughing because it's funny to me. It's like having a little background music.
Yeah, it's charming.
Yeah. It was very humorous. Anyway.
Yeah.
Continue.
No, it's okay. I like that, like, these two very different movies took that same concept and went just... Because there's a lot of that, like, we're going into space, how far can we go things. But I, like, can't think of... And obviously my memory's not very good, but I can't think of any two off the dome that bring in, like, the literal cosmic horror of, like, we went a little too far and we, like, saw somewhere we weren't supposed to. And now what do we do? Which I think is really interesting, the fact that, like, the horror of space is poetic, like you said before, Ezra. It is, like, kind of unknowable and, like, untangible, in ways that are really interesting.
We're not built to make sense of it.
Yeah. And it's not even, like, in the terms of our solar system, like, not turbo far. Like, we've mapped up all that shit. Like, we know there's stuff beyond Neptune, and we know what it is. We've, in fact, known what it is for long enough that we've changed the definition of those stuff that are out there. And we know where the sun is. We're not technically that far from it, all things considered. And it certainly feels like it today, but
yeah.
And even those things that are so close are still too much. You have, at the very beginning of Sunshine, the psych officer, who is an actor who looks very familiar to me, and I totally cannot remember his name, which is unfortunate. I liked him lot in this movie. The psych officer,
yes,
who keeps staring at the sun. He looks at the sun, and he gets, like, this, like, filter is at, like, you get 2% of the sun's full radius. And it's like, or he's like, okay, well, let's turn it up to 3%, and I can only do it for 30 seconds before it blows my eyeballs up. Sorry. Before it burns my retinas. That's not a ton better, but you know what I mean. I'm trying not to be gross about eyeballs. And that level of power and radiance is so much that it makes the screen almost, like, unbearable to look at. And that is, like, so awe-inspiring to be like, yeah, man, that is a star. And we kind of take for granted, like, those are the stars. Until you, like, think about, like, Jesus fuck, that's a star. Yeah. Or think about the ability of, like, if we go too far out and we have to, like, shift relativity to get to where we need to go, which is, like, you know, in a lot of sci-fi movies that are, like, further out sci-fi, it's like, yeah, we are just gonna make, like, a space-time jump, that's just a thing. But if you really think about that concept, oh my god, what is that even? It's inconceivable, and this is what it does to you. I find it all really cool, that they're bookending that same concept in different ways. And obviously Event Horizon is literally at the end Hellraiser, but in space, and, like, also, like, Geiger, and also Stargate.
I believe that actor's name is Cliff Curtis.
Thank you. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
He's also handsome to me.
He is a good-looking man.
He's a very hot cast, like we keep saying.
Yeah,
it's a very hot cast.
A lot of lookers.
I just a lot of shit going on in that movie. I am laughing about Killian Murphy playing tortured physicists.
He loves to do it.
Several
years apart, but he loves to do it.
People looking at Killian Murphy and being like, yeah, we need this guy to have to, like, reckon with
math and sad.
We need to make this man do math and be really morally conflicted about it.
Yeah. Because it's technically his fault that everything goes sideways.
Yup.
It is, and they bring it up, and he's right. Yeah. And, like, I get why he made that decision. The idea is, like, so they have to go try and get the payload from Icarus 1, is the idea. Is, like, it's there, we can have 2 of these bombs in case the first one doesn't work. We have, like, a 45% chance of their first one working, we just don't know. And, like, math-wise, it's like, that's less than 50%. We could essentially double that number, And we're still not 100%, but that's a lot of chance. I get it. I understand exactly why he made that choice. And it starts off this domino effect. And it's not entirely his fault, right? Like, Trey forgets to adjust something, and everything goes shitwise from there, too. And, like, it's a bunch of other stuff. But that man was made to look like he's tortured by the effects of his decisions, for sure.
Yeah, he does a really good line in Haunted.
Yeah.
Like, I just... Killian Murphy out here being really good at conveying I am quietly haunted by what I perceive to be my past sins.
Yep.
And also I look really hot while I do it.
Yep. I did spend a lot of that movie watching him walk around thinking about how Hozier wrote that one song partially about...
Oh my god, yeah!
God, which one is it? I forget. It's one of the more recent ones. And he got, like, Mr. Hozier got, like, shwasted and then, like, had to go catch a plane, like, super fast to go to LA to do recording. But he, like, smacked his head because he was super hungover and didn't realize that he was still bleeding until he was on the plane and, like, fell over. And then he looked up, and Killian Murphy was there, and was like, hey, are you alright, man? And, like, helped him up, and I was just thinking about that. And I was like, yeah, I also would have written a song about it if that had happened to me. That's the real looking into the sun, is being turbo hungover on a plane from Ireland to LA with a concussion and bleeding head wound looking up into the beautiful face of Killian Murphy.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to, if I gotta go out, that's definitely on my list of ways I wouldn't mind going out.
Yeah, it's that and the end of that movie where he's looking at the frozen image of the sun fire, and then he reaches out to touch it.
Yeah.
That was that ending is so different from that ending. Oh, I guess that isn't the ending, because the ending is, like, going back to Earth and his sister and, like, nibblings, and then the sun gets brighter, which is such a, like, everything was so shit for them, but they did it, and it ends very hopeful, and then Event Horizon is like, oh, they escaped, but then the door closes on them, and you're like, oh, fuck, maybe
like,
did
they know?
Yeah.
I don't know! Yeah, God, Event Horizon is such a weird fucking movie. Like, I say this with love.
So weird.
It is a very bizarre movie. I really wish we knew more about what the original cut of that movie was supposed to be, because it is a somewhat notorious example of studio meddling. It was originally like 100, like, the original cut of Event Horizon was like 130 minutes. And it was edited down to 96. Like, there's they chopped a whole half hour out of that movie. What? In 2025, a comic book prequel series was published by IDW Publishing. I love when I learn things live on air. This movie, oh wow, Event Horizon hilariously cost more to make in 1997 than Sunshine cost to make it 10 years later. The movie had a $60 million budget. Yeah, because they went back to, and it really blows because it sold so well on the secondary market, that Paramount was like, oh my god, Paul Anderson, like, we wanna release the director's cut, and it's like, yeah, that footage, just doesn't exist anymore. It's like, god damn it!
Yeah. I read that the release was pushed because of, because Titanic wasn't going to be done when they thought it was going to be done. Yeah. So all of a sudden they were lacking a movie to release, Paramount, so they were like, you gotta speed it up, man!
Those are two definitely interchangeable movies. I guess they both take place on large ships.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of all I got, though. Wow. Okay. Sorry. I'm just like now. I'm just sitting here thinking about how fucked up Event Horizon is. Well, it's another movie that like it's just got some really good. The production design is really good. Everything like all of the sets look great. And the black hole drive is just like, it just fucks incredibly hard. I really, like, it's got all sorts of spinning shit, and like, you look at it, like, the camera gets up close, and it's like, you're like, okay, cool, weird science shit. Wow, why is like every square millimeter of all of this metal inscribed with like inscrutable runes? And like, it's not a very long movie, but I do feel like the beginning of it does a good line in like, you're like, oh, there is something, like letting the audience go, oh fuck, there's something like really wrong here.
Yeah. And
then watching the characters realize that there's something really wrong here.
Yeah.
Which I always think is like that. I like that's a form of dramatic irony that I enjoy.
Both these movies are pretty short.
They are. Sunshine was in particular was much
like
shorter
98.
than I remembered it being. Yeah,
Sunshine
it's
is like
100
and something. So
yeah,
they're very efficient.
You can watch them back to back, and yeah, they both are very efficient with their storytelling. I think it helps that they're both in a contained space.
Totally.
There's only so much shit you can have happen when you are trapped on the space ship.
Yeah, they are, as Ben reminded me, we talked about Event Horizon on one of our previous episodes, which was like 3 years ago, and I was like, oh, I forgot you did that. And he was like, no problem, man, but I still feel bad. Sorry, Ben. They are bottle movies, like, you can't go anywhere, which is one of the things I like about, like, space horror so much, is you're like, bro, you're here, and that's it. Like, Alien,
gotta make
it's
it
like,
work.
You are on the ship with the alien, and that's it. Now what?
It forces. I like the ways that it lets you have it like force creativity in your characters. Sorry, really just thinking about. Also, I had forgotten that the ship, like the rescue ship in the one that they take out to Neptune, is called the Lewis and Clark, which just made me laugh really hard for some reason.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, hell yeah.
The Leonardo in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood pointing meme, I was like, that's our.
Yeah, oh my god, I had to, it's like, oh wow, state history shit I had to learn when I was like 8.
Yeah, literally. Hey!
Oregon and Washington kids rise up.
It's literally like how, so all of the runabouts in Deep Space Nine are named after rivers, like famous rivers on Earth. It's like if hearing of one of those was named the Willamette or something.
Yeah, right. Or like the like, Columbia.
What?
Like, pointing.
Literally. You're just like, huh?
They wouldn't.
It's pretty funny.
It's they won't do it because most of like you like learn to pronounce all of the rivers that are like names from indigenous languages in like your area, and then somebody else shows up and they're like, how the fuck do you say that? I'm like, well, it is spelled phonetically, so just take a second. But also, that's like a combination of phonemes that you did not grow up hearing. Really Now I am treasuring the image of a runabout on Deep Space Nine called the Nooksack. A thing that seems extremely normal to me, and every single time I say that, makes at least one of my friends go, haha, Nooksack.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful place. I don't know. Trying to fit still a Guamish in really, like, the letters have to be really tiny because it's so long.
Yeah.
It's like when my friend came to Portland for the first time and it was like, oh, Couch Street. And I was like, actually...
Nope.
You're not gonna like this one!
You're not gonna like this one, but it's actually
classic
Cooch.
error.
And she was like, ha ha ha, no it's not. And I was like no, actually,
ha, ha,
yes.
Yeah, that's a weird thing to make up.
Yeah, I wouldn't lie to you.
I have important news for you. It absolutely the fuck is. God bless Cooch Street. I also... other fun thing about... Event Horizon does a little bit less of this because it fits a surprising number of you think that person's gonna die, oops, maybe not moments in for such a short movie.
Yeah.
Whereas I also simply enjoy movies where people get picked off one at a time. Which just makes it, I guess, weird that I don't like slasher movies, but I just really enjoy, like, because I like the way that it becomes yet another loss of available resources. Especially in this type of movie where it's like, okay, you're trapped on a spaceship, you have limited resources, limited space, all of this stuff, but also there are, you try to have redundancies, but if the wrong combination of people die, you're like, well, fuck, we can't, even if we we can't operate, that you lose utility on top of losing people. And it just, the way that it's a narrowing of possibilities in a way that I find to be, a satisfying storytelling arc. Especially because it often, it makes the remaining people more and more desperate. And then sometimes I really wish I knew whether they actually lit Lawrence Fishburne on fire or if that's a stunt double.
I was thinking about that too.
If that's a double, the cutting is immaculate.
Yeah, totally.
Because it really fucking looks like they lit Lawrence Fishburne on fire.
Yeah.
You really had to look for it. And, when that happened, I was my dad and I watched this together. We were, looking for it. And it's hard to tell. It's very hard to tell. You can usually tell if you know what to look for in most things, I find. Not that it's not a way of, oh, look, it's fake. That's not the point of it. It's just being oh, there's a stunt double. It's a little fun thing.
I don't know. But, sometimes it's fun to see the... I don't know. It's like looking at a painting really close and seeing the brushstrokes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool to see the work that went into something.
Yeah.
Thank you. I almost thought maybe I could just convey this sentiment by humming Sunday in the Park with George, and then I was like, I'm not gonna do that.
Oh my god.
I got you.
Now I'm gonna have that stuck in my head all night. Where were we going with this?
Lawrence Fishburne on fire.
Oh,
fire.
Yeah. I think that, it's also, Event Horizon is also just, a very well choreographed movie. Just all of I don't know, because it's you've got a lot of people in cramped spaces, and there are just a lot of really satisfying ways that human bodies fill up those spaces. Again, feels like a weird thing to say, but the whole sequence where Sam Neill is in that it's if a Jeffries tube was the Matrix, where it's glowing green and there's all those
oh yes,
clear plastic panels that have and he's pulling out panels and you're just increasingly okay, this isn't, you didn't use normal math. What the fuck were you expecting to happen? Man? This is some Cthulhu bullshit.
Yeah.
Whatever you were doing here is not. It's that sense of whatever it took to make this is it almost. I'm not saying I think this is what happens in the movie, but if they had, it would make sense to me if they had sort of implied that the inspiration for the Event Horizon drive itself was somehow demonic in nature. Like, I'm like, did you make a Faustian bargain?
It feels
for
like
the
it,
ability
doesn't
to
it?
create this ship, like that,
especially
sort of
with the way that he gets all
vibes.
Twisted at the end.
Yeah, and like also the way that like it's like obviously content warnings for just so much shit. Be aware if you have specific like squicks or triggers, hit up Does the Dog Die before you watch Event Horizon. A lot of nasty and somewhat wild shit happens in that movie. It was going to be way worse apparently. But there's some icky shit in there, and also some like things that people may find particularly upsetting. Like all of the, you have all of these flashbacks with Sam Neill's character's wife, who it's unclear whether she was involved in like helping him design the black hole drive that takes you to the Pinhead dimension or not. I assumed that either she was involved or she could tell what effect it was having on him, and she takes herself out of the equation. She commits suicide. I don't know why. I don't need to use stupid.
It's worth clarifying if you're gonna watch it.
You should know she does commit suicide,
and it is on screen,
and you do see it happen.
And then you see tits right afterwards, which is confusing.
Again, you're like, okay, I don't really know where we're going with this one. But watching, because I think this was either the second or third time I've seen that movie, and I was sitting there and I was like, I'm not saying I know what they cut, but I can see a version of this movie where she has some sense of what is coming and decides that she doesn't want to be around for it, or in some fucked up way, she is the price of that knowledge.
Yeah.
That's the vibe that I got. Is that he, on some level, he feels like he made a trade. Like he traded her life for his like flash of insight. And like whether that's true or not, it has fun Faustian bargain angles. Yeah. And also just, it really is some Clive Barker shit. And now I'm really mad because I think that I have like lent and not been returned 2 separate copies of Clive Barker's Aberrat, and I have to go buy that book again.
I know. I don't even know where mine is, but I'm
kind of tired of buying copies of Clive Barker's Aberrat. But I need the actual full-size illustrated version. Otherwise, what the fuck is the point? So yeah, I can't believe I have to, I don't know, probably buy that on the internet because they haven't had it in any of the used bookstores recently, so I'll get it off of some used bookstore website. But like, I don't know, I just that was a fun, that was a fun angle this time, I thought. Also, just like, okay, so some of the CG is real fucking dated.
Yeah,
it's really ambitious.
Yes.
In a way that I find endearing. But it is a little bit like,
it's a little clown car.
It is a bit clown car.
There's also moments where the movie has like genuine horrifying moments, like when Sam Neill's in the chair and he says we won't need to see where we're going. And
where we're going, you don't need eyes, and it's like, what?
And you're like, and then like right after he gets in like a wizard fight with Lawrence Fishburne or whatever, like people are going flying. That's not what happens. But the thought connection there is that people go like flying across the room like they're in a Star Trek TOS episode, and you're like, what is happening right now? Oh, because Cooper like knocks on the front because he got blasted out and managed to come back, and then it was like, guys, let me in. That's not a joke. That's almost literally what he says. Like, through the front window.
It's me. It's your copy. Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like, what the fuck is going on? Also, not to be that guy, because this movie's absurd, I'm like, they all should have died immediately.
Oh, there are so many times where you're like, well, that would kill you, but
that would kill you space-wise, but also, there's no sound in space, and you just have to move on, and that's okay.
We simply suspend our disbelief. Oh, exquisite! From Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia, screenwriter Philip Eisner acknowledged that Warhammer 40k influenced the story.
Oh my fucking god!
Another win for Warhammer DNA. This makes me like this movie more.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it's talking about the warp. They went to the fucked up space elf dimension.
That's so funny.
Sorry.
Yeah,
that
Warhammer stays winning.
That really got me going. Yeah, wow. Just some crazy shit.
Yeah. It's one of those things where I rewatched Event Horizon and I was like, I remember this movie being better than it is. And I rewatched Sunshine and I'm like, this movie's better than I remember it being. Because every time I get far enough away from Sunshine, I'm like, is that movie actually as good as I remember it being? Because it seems kind of dumb, and then I rewatch it and I'm like, no, this movie is actually, like, interesting, and, like, I mean, I cried everything, right? But, like, got me a little teary-eyed a couple times. Then I watch Event Horizon, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, it's like
positive, but I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
I was that was one of those ones where I was a little bit like, I showed it to my roommates and I was like, okay, usually this is perhaps not one of my finest moments in the history of everybody sit down. Ezra has picked a movie for the evening.
Yeah, guess what, everybody? We're all gonna watch Event Horizon.
Yeah, like, in my defense, my like greatest hits of that one are really good, so pretty okay is just looks bad in comparison to, like, I got to show everybody Master and Commander for their first time.
Yeah.
You know, Master and Commander, this movie is not.
No. I mean, it's still fun. I still have a fun time. I wish they'd left the orgy in.
They should have left the orgy in. Justice for the orgy.
Fucking lame. It's embarrassing, really. But if I had to pick, I would pick... Not that we're not pitting two queens against each other, but I would rather pick Sunshine. That's the one I would be like, if we're showing a movie to somebody, let's watch Sunshine.
I would agree with the general consensus that, like, the third act of Sunshine is sometimes a little bit like, what? Because it does suddenly turn into kind of a slasher, where there's this thing that's happening that's, like, all of a sudden escalating the objective of the film.
Yeah.
But they were heading in that direction anyway, and I like the horror aspect of it. So I understand, while I'm watching it, the third act, I do understand the issues that people have with the third act, but the rest of it is so well done, I think, and so well paced that I don't mind it.
I agree with you. The third act forgoes some of the poetry in favor of, like, making Rose Byrne and Killian Murphy into final girls in a way that I'm just kind of like, about. And also, the tone of their characters' relationship is just very kind of, has me going like, yeah, whatever. I don't know. It's not poor performances by the actors. It's the writing of the movie is like, we have to have a certain kind of emotional resonance because the last two people left alive are a boy and a girl. Oh gosh. And I'm like, I don't fucking care. Both of these people, I'm like, I just don't care. Why are they getting chased? Like, it in a movie where so much of the tension is about the, like, overwhelming, crushing inevitability of the son and also of, like, the task, having it, like, really given over to, oh, and also a weird guy is, like, I got it, man. Like, you don't need to have, like, Mark Strong degloving injury footage. I get it. He's been driven mad by the sublime. It's you had me. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, I had nothing. I got nothing.
Well, that's manifestly
I agree.
untrue.
Well, yes.
I'm a big old slasher fan, so I enjoy that part quite a lot. But I do understand that it is not to everybody's taste. And it is a very different vibe from the rest of the movie. It does take a little bit of a pivot. And you're like, what is happening right now?
Yeah.
But for me, it's what is happening right now, and I'm like, what is happening right now? Just because I like the effects so much.
Yeah.
And once again, I like the, we're being chased down by the like, reveal of, like, but there should be 4 people on the ship, and Icarus is like, there's 5.
That is good.
Like, it's really good. So I like that stuff, but it is different. It is not for everybody, and it's much like how I am the one who is attracted to Chris Evans here. It's not for everybody, but it's for me.
It's true. I love this for you. I think that it is well done in and of itself, but to me it is too much of a tonal mismatch as opposed to a, like, I think it just the 2 parts resonate for you better, which I think is cool.
Yeah.
Are people airlocking themselves? This is a thing that just comes up a lot, and I'm like, every single time this comes up in a movie, I'm just thinking, like, they all have some kind of safety features, and it's always different, and I always just think, airlocks have been around for a long time. Perhaps we should have some kind of, like, standardized space OSHA protocol that would prevent all of these people from getting airlocked and or airlocking themselves.
Yeah.
And then I realized that I need to have fun and be myself.
I mean, I agree. I do think we need SPOSHA. So
we need SPOSHA! Where can we get maybe we can get somebody to commission some SPOSHA
Do you know
merch.
how long it took us to get Earth OSHA?
Okay, that's fair.
I know. Well, we got the first one.
I do.
Then now I think we can make it faster.
I think that if we were in charge of the world, yes, everything would be right and correct. We would be that would be on the agenda. We would be getting SPOSHA, like, on that. I love saying that word, this made up word that we've invented. But I have very little faith in the current system of the world fast tracking space OSHA.
Yeah, this is why we need fully automated luxury gay space communism.
Yeah.
Well, yes, this is true also.
I'm just fixated. I'm like, now I really want, like, a patch that I could put on a vest that's SPOSHA.
Yeah.
Space OSHA.
People will be like, please explain.
And I'll be like, no.
I'm like, I don't know what there is to explain.
Yeah, my space OSHA patch, raising a lot of questions I feel are answered by my space OSHA patch.
Yes. Oy vey.
Fun combo of movies. I will say that I think the results of the blind date are they have fun, but I don't think we're getting a second date here.
I don't think so either.
So
Yeah.
I think on the third date.
I don't know. I think they both get a fun story to tell their friends. And I can't believe that Unusual Double Feature is now a dating show.
Yeah.
Segment.
I guess so. We have to go back to the old ones and rate the dates.
IMDb does suggest Prometheus as a possible third date for Sunshine.
Yeah, okay.
Event Horizon. Let me see what IMDb suggests.
In the Mouth of Madness is the second date for Event Horizon, and I think that date does go well.
Oh yeah,
I watched those two
definitely.
movies back to back, and they were very fun together.
They match each other's freak.
And also The Abyss, and also Hellraiser, of course.
Yep. I haven't seen The Abyss. I'd really like to.
Crazy movie. Desperate to watch it again. It's been years since I've seen it. And I think the last time I watched it was in middle school science class.
Oh, okay.
Which is semi-awkward only because that movie is one, hella long, and B, like, there's a scene where a female character has to have CPR performed on her, and they do, like, slightly medically accurate CPR, which means that
oh hell yeah,
you see her breasts, but like just fine. Like, I approve of this as a person, but like as in a classroom of 12-year-olds who are just like which is unforeseen consequences.
Sorry, the oh hell yeah was because it is difficult to because nobody wants to show medically accurate CPR on persons with what was the Tumblr thing? Female presenting nipples.
Female presenting nipples, exactly.
Sorry, I brought that phrase back into everyone's mental radar. But anyway, just everybody, just go get your CPR certification.
Agreed.
And that's the word from.
That's the last word. Anyway,
that's from Sneople. Yep.
Get your CPR certification. It will not save you from going crazy in space, but
it's helpful to know just in case
somebody else.
Yeah, you never know.
Mm-hmm. Not from going crazy in space, but from something else happening.
But check for a do not resuscitate bracelet first.
Also true.
Yes, very important.
Well, on that note, take care of each other, and thanks for hanging out with us here on Sneople at the Movies. Yeah, and go to space, or don't.
Take care of each other,
I don't know.
Go to space, or don't. I'm not your dad.
Whatever floats your boat, man. I don't know.
But I am your Sneople.
Whatever floats your fucking weird spaceship with the ground. Yeah, don't make deals with the devil to try to go to the opposite side of the universe. I think that's an extremely specific cautionary tale. Or I don't know, I don't know your life, man. Maybe you want to go to the Pinhead dimension.
That's true. There's got to be so many people who have a thing for that. I know
I
that's
did
true.
say that, and then I'm like, yeah, a lot of you, to all of you
probably
who want to go to the Pinhead dimension, I hope that happens for you.
Yeah, congratulations.
Get down with your bad self.
Yeah.
This has gotten away from us. I'm ending the podcast.
Shut it down!
Shut it down! Shut it down! Thanks for hanging out with us here on Sneople at the Movies from the Infinity Break Network. Check out infinitybreak.net for more awesome content, and come chat with us on the Infinity Break Discord. You can find it at bit.ly/IinfinityT talks. You can also shoot us an email at sneopleatthemovies@gmail.com if you've got a subject you want to hear us talk about, a movie you think we absolutely need to see, or a ranked list of your favorite situations Sam Neill has been put into. Definitely send us that one. I really want to watch more Sam Neill movies. Our Oscar-worthy music was done by Johnny Ronaldo, who you can find hanging out on the Discord. Our glorious Technicolor logo was designed by Bethany Luthold. If you enjoyed listening, please leave us a review on iTunes, and share the show with your friends, your enemies, and your partners in crime. As always, thank you for listening, and we'll see you at the movies.
And in space.